The massive diplomatic ship hung in the endless black of space, its sleek metallic surface reflecting the distant starlight. Inside the main bridge, Captain HFY Park stood perfectly still, his hands clasped behind his back. His dark eyes studied the alien delegation with a mixture of curiosity and professional calm. The Crocodiles were unlike anything humans had encountered before. They looked like living glass, their bodies translucent and constantly shifting. Tendrils of silvery blue material moved and pulsed, creating complex patterns that might have been communication or simply breathing. Each of the alien beings was about 2 meters tall, with no clear distinction between what might be considered a head or body. Translator devices hummed softly, creating a gentle background noise that broke the tension of the first contact moment. HFY knew this meeting could change everything. Humanity had been waiting for this day for decades. First contact with an intelligent alien species. Ambassador Likura, the lead Crocodile representative, moved forward. Its body rippled like water, sending cascading waves of light across the bridge. The translation device caught its words, rendering them in a smooth, almost musical English. "Humans," Likura began, "we have traveled many light years to understand your species. Our scans show you are different." HFY allowed himself a small smile. Different was an understatement. Humans were survivors, adaptable, and had a history of overcoming impossible challenges. From the depths of Earth's oceans to the harsh vacuum of space, they had proven their resilience time and again. The bridge crew remained silent. Each member of the human team wore the standard blue-gray diplomatic uniform, their postures rigid but not aggressive. Years of training had prepared them for this moment, to represent humanity without showing fear, without showing weakness. Likura's tendrils continued to move, creating complex patterns that the ship's computer was desperately trying to analyze. Communication with the Crocodile was not just about words. Their entire body was a language, each movement potentially carrying multiple layers of meaning. "We have studied your transmissions," Likura continued. "Your planet, your history, your biology." Something in the alien's tone made HFY's curiosity spike. There was a hint of something unexpected. Was it concern? Confusion? The universal translator could convert words, but subtle emotional nuances often got lost. The ship's main screen flickered, showing a compilation of Earth's data. Landscapes, cities, wildlife, scientific achievements. But HFY knew that raw data never told the full story. Humans were more than just information. They were survivors, creators, dreamers, and sometimes they were something far more terrifying. Likura's body pulsed with an intensity that suggested deep processing. The alien was thinking, analyzing, preparing to speak again. HFY waited, knowing that this conversation could determine the future of human-alien relations. Little did the Crocodile know, HFY had a story that would change everything they thought they understood about life, survival, and the concept of a predator. A story about patience. A story about crocodiles. Silence filled the bridge. HFY knew this was his moment. The Crocodile waited, their translucent bodies pulsing with anticipation. He cleared his throat and began to speak. "Let me tell you about a creature from my planet," he said. "A creature that will change everything you understand about survival." Likura's tendrils froze. The entire alien delegation seemed to lean forward, their body language screaming curiosity. "Crocodiles," HFY said simply. The translation device worked overtime, converting not just words but attempting to capture the weight of meaning behind them. The ship's computer displayed an image on the main screen. A prehistoric-looking reptile lay motionless on a riverbank, its scaled skin blending perfectly with the surrounding mud and rocks. "This is a crocodile," HFY explained. "They are predators, but not like any predator you have ever imagined." The Crocodile moved slightly. Their species was known for constant motion, for rapid metabolism, for never staying still. The very concept of a creature that could remain motionless seemed alien to them. Jaguar continued, "Crocodiles can wait. Not for minutes, not for hours, but for years." Licorice's body rippled with confusion. The universal translator caught the ambassador's response. "Years? No creature can survive without constant nutrition. This is impossible." A small smile crossed Jaguar's face. "Not impossible. Entirely possible." He described how crocodiles could slow their metabolism to almost nothing, how they could remain perfectly still, hidden in water or on riverbanks, how they could go without food for up to 2 years, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. The Crocodiles began to change color. Their translucent bodies shifted from a calm silver to a mottled gray that suggested growing unease. The bridge's ambient temperature seemed to drop as the aliens processed this information. "They do not eat?" Licorice asked, tendrils trembling. "They choose not to eat," Jaguar corrected. "They wait. They plan. They are patient beyond your understanding." A ship's computer displayed more images. A crocodile barely visible among reeds, another half submerged in muddy water. Each image showed the same thing: a perfect predator, waiting, watching, planning. Their metabolism can slow so much that they use almost no energy, Jaguar explained. They can survive on the energy stored in their body. They can wait for prey to come to them. Sometimes, that wait can be years. Licorice's body began to pulse rapidly. The other Crocodile delegates moved closer together, their usual confident demeanor replaced by something that looked like fear. "But why?" another Crocodile delegate asked. "Why would a creature choose to wait so long?" Jaguar's eyes gleamed. "Because when they strike, they are guaranteed a meal. Absolute patience leads to absolute success." The bridge fell silent. The Crocodile, a species of constant movement and rapid consumption, were confronting a concept completely foreign to them: a predator that could wait, a hunter that could remain motionless for years, a creature that turned time itself into a weapon. And Jaguar had only just begun to explain Earth's predators. The bridge of the diplomatic ship had transformed. What began as a calm first contact had become a nightmare for the Crocodile delegation. Captain Jaguar watched carefully as the alien beings processed the information about crocodiles. Licorice's body began to change colors rapidly, from silver to gray, then to a sickly green that suggested pure terror. The alien's tendrils twisted and turned, no longer moving with the smooth grace of earlier moments. "You mean," Licorice stammered, "these creatures deliberately choose to starve?" Jaguar nodded. "Not starve. Wait." The ship's computer continued to display images: a crocodile partially buried in mud, another floating almost invisibly in dark water. Each image told a story of patience beyond comprehension. The Crocodile were a species of constant motion. They ate continuously. Their bodies required near constant nutrition. The concept of waiting years for a single meal was more than strange to them. It was horrifying. "How do they survive?" another delegate asked, its voice trembling. "Their body is a weapon," Jaguar explained. "They store energy. They slow their heart. They become almost like stone. Waiting. Always waiting." The other human crew members remained silent. They understood the psychological warfare happening on the bridge. This was not just an explanation. This was a demonstration of how different Earth's creatures could be. Licorice moved closer to the screen. The images of crocodiles seemed to terrify and fascinate the alien at the same time. Its tendrils reached out, then pulled back, as if touching the image might somehow make the crocodile real. "But why?" the alien asked. "Why would a creature choose such a strategy?" Jaguar's response was simple: survival. He began to explain how crocodiles had existed for millions of years, how they survived multiple extinction events, how they were perfect killing machines that had changed very little in millions of years because their design was already perfect. The Crocodile delegates started to bunch together. Their usual confident posture had disappeared. They looked like frightened children hearing a scary story for the first time. "Your planet creates such monsters," Likura whispered. "Crocodiles are just the beginning," Jaehua said quietly. The implications hung in the air. The Kreltheri realized they knew nothing about Earth, nothing about its creatures, nothing about humanity's capacity for survival. A crocodile could wait 2 years for a meal. Humans could wait centuries to explore the stars. Patient, determined, unstoppable. The diplomatic mission had taken an unexpected turn. What was meant to be a peaceful first contact was becoming something else entirely, a demonstration of Earth's true nature. Likura's body continued to pulse. Fear, confusion, respect. And Jaehua had only just started to describe Earth's predators. The diplomatic mission had changed. What started as a peaceful first contact had become something else entirely. Captain Jaehua Park watched the Kreltheri delegation with a calm that masked his growing excitement. Likura's body continued to pulse with fear. The alien's tendrils moved erratically, a clear sign of complete psychological breakdown. Other Kreltheri delegates huddled together, their translucent bodies now a muddy, fearful color. "There's more," Jaehua said simply. The ship's computer displayed new images: a Komodo dragon, a great white shark, a mountain lion, each predator more terrifying than the last. Komodo dragons, Jaehua explained, have a bite that slowly kills prey. They can track an animal for days after just one small wound. The prey dies slowly, painfully. The Kreltheri made a sound that might have been a gasp or a sob. Sharks came next, creatures that could smell a single drop of blood from miles away. Predators that had existed for millions of years. Perfect killing machines that moved through the ocean like living nightmares. "Your planet," Likura whispered, "is a death world." Jaehua did not disagree. He explained how Earth's creatures had evolved to survive, how they had learned to hunt, to wait, to kill. The Kreltheri listened in horror as he described predators that could survive in ice, in desert, in deep ocean. A mountain lion could track prey for hours. A shark could go weeks without eating. A crocodile could wait years for a single meal. The diplomatic ship grew quiet. The Kreltheri stopped moving. Their usual rapid motion had frozen. They were processing a terrible truth about humanity and its home planet. Earth was not just a planet. It was a training ground for survival. Likura's translator worked overtime. "How do humans survive?" the alien asked. Jaehua smiled, a smile that was both friendly and terrifying. "We are the apex predator," he said simply. The Kreltheri delegation began to slowly move backward. Their bodies shifted. Their confidence disappeared. They were seeing humans differently now. Not as potential allies, not as a species to study, but as something else entirely. A species born from a planet that created predators like crocodiles. A species that understood waiting. A species that could survive anything. The first contact mission had become a psychological test, and humanity was winning. The diplomatic ship felt different now. What had started as a calm meeting had become a nightmare for the Kreltheri. Captain Jaehua Park continued his explanation, each word carefully chosen to maximize psychological impact. "Let me tell you about our plants," he said. The Kreltheri froze. After the horror of Earth's animals, what could their plants be like? Jaehua displayed images of Venus flytraps, pitcher plants, sundews, carnivorous plants that hunted and ate insects, plants that could move, plants that could trap, plants that could digest living creatures. Likura's body turned a sickly shade of green. The alien's tendrils twisted in pure confusion and terror. "Plants hunt?" a Kreltheri delegate asked. "Some do," Jaehua confirmed. He explained how these plants had evolved to survive in harsh environments, how they had learned to catch food when the ground was poor, how they had developed methods to trap and kill insects. The Venus flytrap could close in a fraction of a second. The pitcher plant could dissolve its prey slowly. The sundew could trap insects with sticky tentacles, plants that hunted, plants that killed, plants that survived. The Crocodiles delegation moved closer together. Their usual confidence had disappeared completely. They looked like children hearing the most terrifying story imaginable. "And humans?" Lycra asked. "How do you survive among such creatures?" Jahua's smile was calm. "We are the most dangerous predator of all." He began to explain human adaptability, how humans could survive in ice, in desert, in deep ocean, how humans had spread across an entire planet filled with creatures that could kill them. Humans had not just survived. They had conquered. The ship's computer continued to display images, harsh landscapes, dangerous creatures, environments that would kill most species. But humans remained. The Crocodiles realized something important. Earth was not just a planet. It was a training ground, a place where only the strongest could survive. And humans were the strongest of all. Lycra's body pulsed with a mix of fear and respect. The alien understood now. Humans were not just another species. They were survivors. They were predators. They were something else entirely. The first contact mission had become a psychological test, and humanity was winning. The diplomatic ship went silent. Captain HFY had done more than explain Earth's creatures. He had changed everything the Crocodiles thought they knew about survival. Lycra's body trembled. The aliens' usual confidence had vanished completely. Other Crocodiles delegates huddled together, their translucent bodies pulsing with fear. "You want conquest?" HFY asked suddenly. "Come to Earth." The words hung in the air like a challenge. The Crocodiles communication network began to buzz. Signals passed between their ships. Rapid discussions happened in milliseconds. Entire conversations occurred in the time a human would take to blink. But the message was clear. Earth was not a target. Humans were not prey. Humans were predators. Lycra tried to speak. The translator caught broken words. "Your planet? Impossible. How do you survive?" Jaguar's answer was simple. "We adapt. We wait. We survive." The diplomatic mission had become something else entirely. What started as a peaceful first contact had turned into a psychological demonstration of human resilience. The Crocodiles began to recalculate everything they knew. Their plans for potential planetary expansion suddenly seemed very different. Earth was not a world to be conquered. Earth was a world that conquered. Signals continued to pass between Crocodiles ships. Discussions happened at light speed. Entire strategies were being rewritten in moments. Humans were different. Humans were dangerous. Humans were survivors. Lycra moved closer to HFY. The alien's body language showed complete submission. No longer was this a meeting of equals. This was a meeting where one species had proven its absolute superiority. "We will not come to your planet," Lycra said. HFY smiled. A smile that said everything and nothing. The first contact mission was complete. Humanity had won, without firing a single weapon. The communication channels between Earth and the Crocodiles became a mess of panic and confusion. Diplomatic protocols collapsed. Standard first contact procedures meant nothing now. Captain HFY stood quietly on the bridge. His crew watched him with a mix of respect and surprise. No one had planned this outcome. The Crocodiles requested immediate psychological decontamination. They wanted to forget everything about Earth, about its creatures, about humans. "We need complete memory scrubbing," Lycra told Earth's communication team. The alien's body shook with fear. "Your planet is not safe." Earth's diplomatic headquarters received the most unusual report in human history. A first contact mission that had scared away an entire alien species without a single weapon being fired. HFY's report was simple. Explained Earth's wildlife. Aliens terrified. The report went up through multiple command levels. Each level read it with increasing disbelief. Each level understood the massive implications. Humans had discovered a new form of defense. Not weapons, not technology. just information. The Crocodiles communication network went crazy. Signals flew between their ships. Entire communication protocols were being rewritten. Their plans for galactic exploration had just been destroyed by one human captain and some information about crocodiles. Earth's defense teams studied the report carefully. They realized something important. Humanity's greatest weapon was not its technology. It was its ability to survive, to adapt, to wait, just like a crocodile. The diplomatic mission had changed everything. The Crocodiles would tell other alien species about Earth, not as a potential target, but as a world to be feared. HFY had become something of a hero, not for fighting, not for conquering, but for telling a story about patience, a story about survival, a story about crocodiles. 1 month after the first contact, Earth received a surprising report. Captain HFY was called to the main diplomatic headquarters. Official meetings were about to begin. The Crocodiles had sent a message, not a message of war, not a message of peace, but a message of pure respect. Your species is different, the message read. HFY sat in the main conference room. High-ranking officials surrounded him. Each wanted to understand how one captain had changed everything about humanity's first alien interaction. Tell us what happened, the lead diplomat asked. HFY told the story simply. About crocodiles, about patience, about survival. The room went silent. The official report was short. First contact successful. No weapons used. Alien species completely intimidated. Other alien species began to hear about Earth, not as a target, not as a potential colony, but as a world to be respected. A world where creatures could wait years for a single meal. A world where survival was an art form. HFY received a special commendation, not for fighting, not for winning a battle, but for telling a story. The Crocodiles communication networks continued to buzz. They warned other species. Do not approach Earth, they said. Humans are different. Humanity had discovered its greatest weapon. Not technology, not force, but information. The ability to tell a story that could change everything. The ability to make aliens fear a planet they had never seen. The ability to survive, just like a crocodile. Patient, waiting, unstoppable.